Right, now then, very interesting that we had Stephen Burkoff on talking about actors, because now we've got two actors who are going to be talking about acting. Well, yes, hopefully talking about acting and talking about their play, which is called Faith. And it's a bit of a political drama, I think. It's on at the Courtyard Theater, and I'll give you all the details. But let me first of all introduce Charlie Clements. Hello, Charlie.
Hello there, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
And Ian Sharp. Hello, Ian.
Hello, nice to meet you, Joe.
When I say it's quite political, it's set in the Falklands. Is that right?
Yeah.
It is, yes.
So just tell me the outline of it without giving everything away.
Okay, Charlie?
Okay. Basically, we've got a group of 4 or 5 soldiers that have moved into this lady's house in the Falklands. And they've just basically taken it over, and they've captured this American mercenary, and they're ordered to kill him for the orders from above. And basically it's their sort of struggle with the idea of, you know, they're given this order and told to carry it out.
Kind of no questions, just kind of get on with it. Really,
yeah,
isn't
just
it?
do it. And, you know, whether the guy actually deserves it or not, you know, they have to carry it out. So it's their basic, it's just their sort of a moral dilemma.
Orders from above?
Yeah, that you don't really go into too much detail about. And then my character, he's the sergeant, and he's just kind of questioning, you know, is it just a senseless murder for the sake of murdering someone? You know, what's the reason for it? Like, and which you don't really go into too much detail. It leaves a lot of questions. So he starts to kind of question his own beliefs in why he's actually there, and, you know, in belief in the army. So there's a lot of kind of unanswered questions in the entire project, isn't there? Really,
Yeah,
like when you watch it, you go, well, why are they doing that? And I think that's kind of the point of the writers kind of.
Do you know?
idea.
I was talking about this the other night. I watched a documentary on Sandhurst. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No.
Because I can never understand the forces. I always struggle with what people sign up for, and yet I wouldn't be sitting here if people hadn't.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
so it's a real dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet so these kids, they are kids that go from public school or whatever into Sandhurst, and there was one. It was you know, a documentary. They just followed him, and he couldn't kill anyone, and they were doing this bayonet running, you know, at a dummy and shoving this bayonet in, and he just went, I can't do this. And they were saying, but you're letting your family down, you're letting everyone down, and he kept going to whoever the head officer, I don't even know what the ranks are called, but and you know, at the end of each week, and they'd say, unless you can do this, you're going to have to leave, because you are going to go in as an officer, and you have to be able to do what you're asking your men to do.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't, and that must happen, mustn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw I was watching the TV the other day, and there was a mother on there giving an interview, and she'd lost her son in Afghanistan, and she was saying that before her son went off, he was crying, and he said, I'm scared. Does that make me a coward? I think that must, you know, of course not.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
You're going off to fight, and
Yes.
of course you're not a coward. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Because I think that's why this play is really interesting, because of course if you sign up for the forces, the bottom line is you may at some time be expected to take someone's life.
Yeah.
But if you're young, I think that to sign up there must be so many other reasons you sign up. I mean, now it's for financial reasons, they say, as much as anything, just to get an income and to get some security.
Yeah.
But the you know, your moral code, could you ever do it?
Yeah.
And do they ask in this play, is the situation in the Falklands, is that a major contributor to the dilemma, you know, as to what Britain was doing there anyway? Because that's always an area of controversy as well, isn't it?
It doesn't go into too much great detail, does it really?
The whole thing kind of remains sort of within the confines of this farmhouse, and the interaction between the woman who owns it and the sergeant and the privates, and it never really goes too much into that side of it. It's more
there's a small mention that, you know, Sandra's character, where she's left the kind of riots of Brixton, and she wants to move to the Falklands for a better life, but then
peace and quiet.
Exactly. And basically we've kind of turned up on her doorstep and kind of just completely ruined her life.
And so is it all set in one environment? I always think that's
in the
really,
farmhouse.
it's really interesting anyway, isn't it, when people sort of get cabin fever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
See how people. I mean, it's Big Brother basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Looking
yeah.
at people under glass.
Yeah.
Who wrote it?
Meredith Oakes.
So is this a premiere?
No, it was last on, I believe, at the Royal Court in 1995.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And it's and I think it's only had one revival, I think, since then. And that's it. So, we came across it and we were just like, yeah, we have to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not. I don't watch EastEnders, and and I hate. You must hate people that say that. And I don't watch it.
No,
only
I
because-
don't at all. I don't.
I watch loads of. I'm a television addict,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't watch it because I leave at that time to come in here.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So otherwise I would. Mel is absolutely, utterly obsessed by it, and he goes on and on and on about it. And he says you had the best send off of any soap character because you jumped off a roof. Is that right?
Fell off a roof.
Oh, you fell off.
Yes, yeah. It was a very good send off. Yeah, it was part of the 25th anniversary live episode.
Oh my God!
So it was pretty dramatic.
Can I just, because I did, as an actor, did quite a few episodes of The Bill, which
Yeah.
most actors have. I'm sure both of you have done. But I have quite a few friends in The Bill, and when they did their live episode, even though I wasn't in it, I couldn't watch it because of the fear of.
Yeah.
I mean, a friend of mine, Roberta Taylor. Do you know her? Who played DC Gold?
Yes, I know of her. Yes,
She had to do phone calls, which she said that's
phone
what,
calls is always hard.
That's because if the phone doesn't ring, you literally have to do hello, even when then it rings once you pick it up.
Speak, gap,
Exactly.
speak, gap.
And she said she had 3 phone calls, and that's what she didn't sleep over the night before.
Yeah.
This flaming phone was going to ring. But also, they were saying that the adrenaline of doing a live episode means you cut something like you shave minutes off the episode.
Yeah, it
everyone's
was incredible.
acting so quick.
Everyone's just like you say, the adrenaline just gets you through it, and you just kind of speed run it in a way.
How terrifying was that?
We'd been over it. We'd been rehearsing for it for 2 weeks, so
Right.
it was pretty much cemented in the mind. But it was such an amazing experience. It was basically just like doing a piece of theatre.
Yes, of course.
Except to a camera. And I think at one point, it peaked at like 17 million people watching it.
Wow.
So what?
It's just immense. It's
I know
crazy.
that's more
crazy.
than X Factor. I mean,
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
X Factor get is 70. And why? I wonder why people. Because lots of people say, why on earth are they doing a live episode? Because it puts the actors through hell. But it's obvious the viewers like to watch you all going through hell.
Evidently, yeah, because I'm sure half the people that tuned in wanted to see someone make a mistake, and that's why they were tuning in. But
I'm sure. I mean, it's like sitting around the guillotine.
yeah.
I know in The Bill they had the added thing of a commercial break.
Yeah, so they had to hang around, yeah.
They all go in their dressing room for like a minute, have a quick
agony.
fag, and then they've got to go back out again.
Agony.
Yeah,
But it was great fun. I really enjoyed it, and a massive way to go out. So.
I'm asking all the cliched questions about someone that's come. Ian, I'm going to ask you questions.
Yeah,
at the
go
moment,
for it.
But it
No
is
problem.
really interesting.
I'm interested myself.
Well, no, because soap opera, it is very interesting when you come out of a soap.
Yeah.
Because, when I don't know how long you were in it for. How long?
4 years.
So you were so recognisable, and you probably still are. And just tell me how long into your run did you start to be recognised? Was it
The next day.
really?
Yeah, it was really bizarre. It was incredible because I'd had a few people round on the first episode, just because that was the first episode, and literally I walked out the house the next day into town, and I had a couple of girls come up to me and they were, "You were on the telly last night?" Like, what? This is like the next day. It was incredible. But I mean, that's why I'm doing, trying to do plays like this.
Yes, to balance it all out.
Yeah, I mean, because it was never going to be, I didn't start acting to be one character for the rest of my life. I want to, play, millions of different characters in different things in TV, film, theatre, and in this I'm playing an army private from Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I've got my best Scouse accent going on, just to try and show people that there's another side to me than Bradley.
Yes.
You know, I'm at the end of the day, I'm an actor, and that's what I do. So,
And I think 4 years is enough, really.
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's,
I mean, I'd always said I'd do 4 years.
a mortgage job.
No, unfortunately not. I wish it were. I wish it was all paid off and done, but unfortunately not.
That's funny. I've never heard
Not
that.
these days. Well, it used to be, for my generation, getting a job at the National, you know, was a mortgage job.
Yeah.
Even if you never spoke, but you'd be running around. At that time, all 3 theatres were working. So you'd be running around all 3 in a night carrying spears and something. It was a mortgage job.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not
Those
the case
days
now.
are gone,
yeah.
haven't they? Haven't they? So, Ian, I mean, what was your route towards this show?
Okay, just basically, I know the director, and also my wife is one of the producers. And they kind of came to me with it, and I read the script. It was fantastic. And I just I had to do it. Originally, I was going to play another role, and then I kind of thought, no, what am I doing? This part of Sergeant Toby Spears is just too good to miss. So I said, let me get involved.
Did you hear any of Burkoff when he was in here? Just
like 2 seconds,
snippets of it, yeah, from
because
outside.
he was saying, I mean, for my generation, he was Olivier to us lot.
He's the man,
really cutting edge. You know what he did is, and he's incredibly intolerant, but he seems to have cozied up a bit in his not I was going to say old age, in his later years,
right?
But what his play that's on is on the premise of, if you take lines away from actor and if you take the role away from the actor, they have nothing left. That's their whole raison d'etre. I mean, it's quite precious to say something like that, but do you think there's a lot in that actors don't exist outside the roles they're playing? And that's a ridiculous thing, because obviously you have relationships and everything else.
I mean, that's it. It's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of speaking about it, weren't we, just before? Whether I don't know. How do you explain that one?
The way I look at it is, I think actors, when they're out of work, is the interesting time.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
We were talking about that. I can't remember who it was that told me, but it was, you've got 2 jobs. One is to be in work, and one's to find work.
Yes.
And that is the kind of difference between maybe making it. Is how you cope with being out of work.
Yes.
You've got to be very strong-minded.
Yeah, I see it kind of like, you've got to be a bit like an entrepreneur. You've got to keep finding, you've got to think out the box. You've got to write, produce, direct, everything to ultimately, get what you want across. Which I have a lot of respect for actors who do produce, do write, do direct as well, because it's creating. It's not just one thing for me personally. It's a whole thing.
That makes you a better actor in the end.
Hopefully, I hope so. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's great because you can sit back on the other side of things as well. Yeah, on the other side of the camera or whatever. But it's. Yeah. How do you feel when you're not working? Do you?
It's hard.
You probably don't know, do you? Damn you!
No, I do.
I do now because I left the show when I left the EastEnders. I had a period of time where I was out of work, and that was the first time it had happened to me.
And it's weird because you're very valuable when you come out of EastEnders, so you have to decide what you're not going to do.
Yeah,
and
it was hard. It was really hard, and you had people. I had people coming up and saying, "Oh, why did you leave it?" And I gave the reason of, because I want to do other stuff, I want to act in different things, and I was prepared. I was prepared to be out of work, and I know that that's part of the job. Like Ian says, there are 2 parts to the job, and so I was kind of prepared for that. But it is hard. It is hard, and it wasn't. I love working and I love being busy, and if acting, if there's no acting work going, I'd quite happily go and do something else, but it wasn't that easy, because all of a sudden, if you're, no offence to anyone listening that does this, but if you're back working in a shop, like I used to do, you're a failed actor because you can't get the work.
But also, I mean, I it's a completely different generation. I always used to waitress, and then I would have the dilemma, and I think actors do this, where you throw everything into the waitress. I mean, I was like such an amazing waitress because that was what, was my stage. I mean, how unbearable is that? But then you get auditions, which you think, if I go to this, they're going to sack me. But if I've got to go to it because I'm an actor, but then they'll sack me, then I can't pay my rent. So you're in this ridiculous situation.
Kind of dilemma,
What job is going to ever let you just keep taking time off to go for auditions? So, and then you lose your focus because you think, as like you were saying, Ian, it's a job. And so you really need, even when you're out of work, to spend every waking hour to get in the next job. So it is. I mean, people go on about the state of the theatre, and I think, maybe it is really, really difficult now. But for example, like your theatre, there are now really exciting fringe venues which are far more interesting than the West End, aren't they? And I mean, the West End's slowly changing, all those big musicals are gradually coming off, but the exciting theatre is all the little venues.
All the little plays
shows
that are
like
going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many little plays going on in such now random little locations.
And that's how because New York was always like that. Off Broadway was always the best place to go and see a show. And I think it's just happening, like, in London
definitely.
now. That we've had like 3 productions come in from the Courtyard Theatre. Just explain to everybody where it is.
Okay, it's basically, it's kind of like a 2-minute walk from Old Street Station. Yeah. It really is close. The venue's fantastic. I mean, it's a 150-seater venue.
Which for a fringe
is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're really good as well. I mean, they ultimately as well, they know they're competing against the bigger venues, but they want to put on good work like everyone else does, So... yeah, we're really, really pleased with the venue.
I was there this evening at the Royal Artillery. Did you know there's something like the Royal Artillery College or something on the right? I was judging a dog show.
Actually, someone said to me that was
it's not far. It's very easy to get to.
I love that part of London. So, it's called the Courtyard Theatre. It's Bowling Green Walk, and Old Street is the nearest station.
Yes, like a 2-minute walk.
And
Exit 2.
Yes,
is the one you want.
Exit 2, yeah. Exit 2.
So have you opened? You open on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Blimey, you're a bit calm. So have you done the technical yet?
It's kind of being done right now.
All right.
We've escaped.
Yeah, we've escaped. Yeah,
so very calm. Usually everyone's just shouting.
Oh, we are inside, I think. Well, I am. I don't know about Charlie. Charlie's cool. He's been in front of 17 million people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've been in front of 7.
Doing
so
stunts.
fine.
Yeah, I feel all right at the moment. I feel pretty calm. Yeah.
Do you know, that's what you've got to think, Charlie.
Yeah.
I've been in front of 17 million. This is going to be a doddle.
Nothing, yeah.
Trouble is, you couldn't see the whites of their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. You wait to see me on first night. I'll be petrified.
Right, let me give it runs until the 16th of June. And there is a Sunday, so if anyone like myself can't get there until a Sunday, there's a Sunday performance at 7:30, which is always good.
Yes.
15 quid, which is brilliant. Box office number 0844 477 1000. 0844 477 1000. Or you can book online, which is www.thecourtyard.org.uk. And yes, it was premiered at the Royal Court in 1997. That's always shows a good pedigree, doesn't it, really? Anything that goes on the Royal Court, tried and tested, is going to be a brilliant choice of play.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Drew Baker. And your wife, did you say?
No, one of the producers,
is a producer. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a very wise move.
Yeah, you get in there.
Sleeping with a producer, as always.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. Listen, I'm so pleased to meet you both.
Good luck. Pleasure, thank you.
Good luck for Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
And I think we should have more plays that send you away thinking about something. So, Tricycle always do that. They always put on shows that you end up thinking and talking about all the way home. So I think this is one of them. It's called Faith, and it's the Courtyard Theatre. Thank you very much indeed, Charlie Clements and Ian Sharp.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.